Hey, Troy. I didn't miss a thing, dude. Not one thing. I was actually setting you up for where I'm taking you right now. A woman needs a certain level of care and needs a certain level of attention. Okay? We're not just talking about companionship, having someone to talk to, and that sort of thing. She needs an environment, especially being of childbearing age, where she's going to want to find a mate that can provide her with an environment to raise kids. That's reality. With your income coming in, and that's the point where I was really wanting you to drop the ball and go into, was you don't have income. You get a pittance coming in from YouTube, which is not a lot. I mean, I could have always done it on all the channels I've had, but I never wanted to, and I had a real good one. Actually, I've had two good ones. This one was a good one too, where I was brought into the YouTube Academy as well. I attended it for a while and got bored with it. It was mostly talking about things that I could care less about. And I also knew I wasn't going to monetize, so I didn't care. So I know it's a pittance amount. It's not a lot of money. Even if you had like 1 million views, I think it's not going to come out to a lot of money. It's just not. It might add up on time, but the thing is, you need content that's going to keep an audience interested, and most of the stuff people want to watch these days is stuff that you're not doing. You're in a very narrow scope of most people's interest. So you're not going to have the views that you're going to have on those other channels. And that's the channels that I'm not really interested in. I don't even look at them. Then you bring up selling up t-shirts and wood things and whatever else. Again, you're not going to make a lot of money at it. Even if you paid for the whole thing and you sold it, you're not going to generate a lot of income from that. You're just not. So how are you going to give this person that you've been talking about a life when you can't generate the income for them? Right? I mean, this is just not bringing up the other odds and ends that's got me really unnerved, and as an ex-GI, I'll tell you. And I was asked to court several women from the East, but I never wanted to. I just don't trust them. The mindset and the thoughts are radically different. So I don't trust them, dude. But be that as it may, let's just say, the whole thing is hunky-dory and everything's on the up and up, and both sides are being honest and whatever. Okay, fine. If it works and it's your thing, then great. But you're not going to be able to give her the life she's after. And the very first thing she's going to want you to do is clean that place up. I got to clean this place up. I'm looking at right now. I got debris right here that you can't see by the camera of things I still got to do something with. And I got a laptop bag full of junk over there. I got a table over there that I haven't finished setting up. And I got a box over here that needs to be put away, and that needs to be put away. I mean, really up here it doesn't take that long to clean up. I just haven't got to it yet. I mean, and I got 1, 2, 3 bedrooms to do, a living room, and a kitchen. Not counting the garage. And my mate will be here about 10 days. So I got a lot of work to do. So, and I still don't think she's going to be happy. I mean, I'm looking at things, and of course she's noticed a few things. And And it's going to be a lot of work. And I know this, and I know it's going to take a lot of money and cash to go through it. And I'm trying to make her as happy as possible, all right? You're going to be doing the same, right? How are you going to do it with that income? And as far as I've known, Troy, you haven't really had a generating income for a while. I know you ran an internet cafe in Germany. That's probably your last big deal that you had. And then you worked for the Army, and then I don't know what you did before the Army, but you don't have a good corporate possibility here. I'm not saying you couldn't. You have to go back to the city, I think, to work. And that's too far from where you're living. And even if you did the things I tried to get you to do, which you refused, at least you would have a way of generating income. But to do these presentations on things that you're just not good at, you don't have the raw material, and you don't have the experience. I've said in previous videos, and even in the comments, you need at least 5 solid years of success. You don't got it. I got a beekeeping channel somewhere, and my first year was not all that great. I'll be the first one to say it. And I can tell you exactly where the faults are and what the problems might have been and things I should have done differently and that sort of thing. But, that was my first year actively doing it. And sometime 20, 30 years ago, when I was helping somebody, I really wasn't really doing beekeeping. I was really just moving boxes. So I really didn't learn a lot. But I've had the interest all my life because I'm into gardening, and which I have done a lot, up to actual fields. And I've been around livestock, which I never really cared 2 hoots about, which would have been like chickens, hogs. I hate hogs. Goats, sort of. And I mean, sort of, just dropping a bale of hay off is nothing, right? And dropping feed off. It's not really taking care of them. That's just doing a favor for somebody. So, I've done all this stuff. But in your current situation, mate, you don't have a lot going for you right now. And to be perfectly honest, like I said in the comments, if you didn't go after Sam, I wouldn't give 2 hoots about what you were up to. To me, you were not important enough to even worry about. But once you went after her, for her giving you biblical passages, that got my goat. That with your cheerleading squad, well, it's just icing on the cake. But Troy, you don't have a job, dude. You may want to view it as your job. You may want to view this as some possible future. But you're not going to make a lot of money at it. Even the people doing it don't make a lot of money at it. I know a person who's been doing off-grid for 30 years. He's married. He has kids. And I think he's up to grandkids by now. And he's been doing it for 30 years. But he does other things. He does beekeeping. He does various different farming, crops and etc. We're talking acres of that stuff. And he takes and farms and he sells it at wherever he sells it at. Co-op or Central Place or whatever. You just don't have it, man. It's like a pipe dream and you're living in a fantasy world and Somebody's got to pop that bubble. I mean, I could pop it a couple hundred ways, but I'm not trying to do it in a mean or hateful way. So you don't really have a job. You need a job. And you need to forget about all this off-gridding junk because you just don't got it. I'm not saying you don't have the desire. You just don't have the skills. I could, but I'm not interested in off-gridding. I'm interested in sustainable prepping. To me, off-gridding is, oh shit, things have fell apart, it's time to get out and go somewhere else. Well, with what I know, and I could have taught you this in biblical passages, it's going to be a whole lot worse than that. The oh shit, go somewhere is only going to work for maybe 6 months, and then they're going to start hunting you down. They got FEMA camps in every area. Each FEMA camp has these little boxes, which are caskets. Each casket will hold 4 bodies. And they got $2 million in each one of them. What do you think those are for? The enemy is playing the game, and they have been playing it for some time, Troy. And they're about ready to take it to final. Now, you can deal with your, I don't know what she really is, but your atheist Molly Dolly, and, or whatever she is, I really could care less. Or your Muslim friend, who is really supporting the Antichrist, and that's another set of biblical teachings. Because the 12th Iman is the Antichrist. I can prove it. It doesn't take long. It's the same thing I did with Nicole. I proved a lot of things that they were saying was wrong. And it wouldn't take me very much to explain it. Of course, a lot of the stuff that they're pulling off of, loosely pulling off of, is soft Tarsus, which is an atypical Pentecostal move. And I can bust Pentecostal. Doesn't take much. The actual thing about speaking in tongues, which Saul of Tarsus wrote about, he was the only one that ever did. As far as doing it constantly after the day it happened on, actually comes from Corinth, and it was used in pagan ceremonies. I know a lot, Troy. I'm just not willing to talk yet. I have, and I kept dealing with a lot of hate. I'm just not interested anymore. I'm not going to teach anybody out there about what's coming, because they don't really want to know, and they don't really care. They want to live in their own little perceptional world on what's going to happen. But I know what's going to happen. Not exact day to day, hour by hour, but I know who's behind it, what's going on, how it's going to go, and who all the main players are. Exactly who the main players are. So you need to wake up, dude, and you need to get your act together. Now, if you're sincere about doing a life with this woman, then you need to make a life for her. Because the IRS is going to rip you a new asshole when you try to say you can support her, because they're going to tell the INS you can't do it. Because right now the INS will give free passes because of the damn liberals to anybody who came here illegally. Dropped a kid and they can't leave. Well, that's actually another piece of nonsense. That's a misunderstanding of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. There's a lot of misunderstandings going on because they don't understand the Constitution anymore because nobody wants to really read it. So, I got you, Troy. You don't have an income. A income in this regard, in order to give her a adequate life, I would sit there and say that you need at least 40 to 50 grand per year. She's going to need health insurance. She's going to need a lot of other things. Because she's female. I mean, females have a bigger medical profile than males do. They have to go in for mammograms every so often. They have to go in for pap smears. If she gets pregnant, you got all those doctor bills. Then you're going to have the kids. You're going to have their doctor bills. And then you're going to have vaccinations and everything else. That's just the deal. That's just the deal. I mean, love only goes so far, attraction only goes so far, and then you come down to business. And from what I can tell, you're escaping business. You should have took my advice when I was getting ready to offer it to you. And got on this board when I can remember the name of it. I still get the emails from them all the time. And take those jobs. Make an income. Forget about this off-grid garbage. I mean, keep what you got. I'm not saying throw it away. But put your effort and your strengths into something that's going to do something for you. Don't waste your time trying to do something that's not going to make you any money. Because right now, and I'm watching you putting this stupid shed together, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, by the way, Troy, the ground is never flipping level. Ever. Never level. Unless you take and you level it. And then you take and run, I forgot what they call that stupid wheel, but you run that wheel over it and level it flat. It's never level. And even then, the ground's going to shift. Either mud, debris, rainstorms, whatever. The ground's not going to stay level. Unless you put a concrete pad on it. And you keep talking about, I can't do this, I can't do this. Well, if you can't do it, then why are you wasting your time, dude? And I've been screaming at you on the solar for a while. I think so did Bill. From Bill and Rosa. Trying to get you to go to a higher voltage level. And you just won't do it. There's reasons we keep telling you to do these things. We're not making this stuff up. I told you how to do the rainwater collection. I sit there and said real simply, I know a very collected series that you could follow and get your rainwater collection up and get hot water and have it stored inside the house and all this other stuff. But you said no. You do it yourself. I'm watching you do it. I like to say I'm laughing through it, but I'm not. I'm just cringing the whole way through it. Now, mate, you're not ready for this stuff. If you're going to marry this woman, you need to put your efforts into trying to take care of this woman. I mean, you got a lot of things to do on the relationship side. You got a lot of things to do on the other stuff, which I'm not going to go through. And then You got to get to know them. Whatever time you've spent with that person, that doesn't mean you know them. They're going to have little quirks and deals that you're going to have to pick up. You know, like if they, start twirling their hair, it can mean either A, they're thinking about something, or B, they're getting angry. And they're just trying to control their temper. I mean, you got to pick up these little tweaks. Anyhow, you just need to get your act together and pull yourself together. I mean, that's all it is. The other thing I told you a long time ago is you should have just packed up and went back home to Michigan. Got that nonsense. Get a farm or something like that, and then do sustainable prepping, because that is the only way that you're going to survive. It's all gritting junk. You're not going to make money in it. I know a bunch of people that do this. You have Bill and Rosa, but they're truck drivers. They have an income generation. It works for them. For them, it's just a place to haul up and rest before they can do their next trip. And they can do some other things there, but that's it. I mean, it's not their main source of income. You got Starry Hilden. Hilder. Yeah, Hilder. She's a nurse, dude. I don't know what her husband does otherwise, but she's a nurse. They got income. You got the guy I'm thinking of. He does do a lot of videos, but he's been doing off-grading for a long time, and he helps people out when they ask. I can look his name up. I got it here somewhere. And he's done for 30 years. You got Engineer 775. I forgot the rest of his ID. He does sustainable prepping, which is the same thing I'm going to be doing. But his main job is he's an engineer. He does things. Running around a place, doing little videos, and watching things fall apart, it's not going to make you any money. I mean, what happened to those windmills? I don't think you got the towers up, have you? And you're in what, winter? Doing wood is every flipping day of the year during the spring and the summer. You don't have to do it all at once, but you have to do it. You don't wait till the last minute and do it. I mean, me right now, I got to do my beekeeping stuff and get my beehives and everything, nukes and all that stuff built. They're downstairs in pieces, and I got my mating nuke mostly painted. I still need 2 more coats on one side. And then I'm arguing over some other parts because I'm trying to figure out if it's going to stick when I put the dividers in. Which I need to go back and look at, but I've been putting it off doing this stuff. You don't have an income, dude. When you said you didn't do you used to do 1099 work and you're not doing it anymore, that means you don't have an income. YouTube videos, selling t-shirts, selling this, selling that. That's not an income, man. Yeah, if you're going to try to do an e-commerce store, which Starry Hilton does do. Not Hilton, Starry Hilder does do. She does an e-commerce store. I don't know how she worked with that. I don't think she deals with all that stuff. I think she's just a storefront. I think she gets the orders and she does whatever with them, places it, and they ship it out with her logos and her stuff on it. you got prepper nurse, but she teaches classes and she's also a nurse. And there's prepper nurse 2 or something like that. Oh yeah, it's prepper nurse 2, I think it is. And the one I'm thinking of is Patriot nurse. Patriot nurse teaches classes. The other guy, I don't know what he does. You don't got it, man. You don't have income. There's your reality check. Unless you're pulling in 40, 50K per year, which I know you're not. You don't got it. You bought this property on a short buy, which means you have to pay it off in 5 years. So any money that you would have coming in would have to go for that. And now you're trying to bring somebody in from overseas. And the visa cost for that's about $2,000. And dude. And she's going to have her own needs and everything else. And then you're going to notice things changing rapidly. I don't think you have a grasp of reality here. Well, I'm sure this is running too long. You take care of Troy. Try to pull it together. I mean, you got commitments going now. So it's real hard for me to really try to help you. And I'm not ever going to help you monetarily anymore. I'll never help you monetarily. I'll give you advice, but I'll never help you monetarily. Not again. And you say pennies on pennies or something like that. My total investment into your project was $1,400. That's a lot of pennies, dude. You take care. Be blessed. Shalom.